Alhamdulillah wahdah, wassalatu wassalamu ala man la nabiyya ba'dah, amma ba'd. Fa'a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Inna fi khalqis samawati wal ardi wa ikhtilafil layli wan nahari la ayatin li ulil albab. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us many signs within ourselves and without, in ourselves and outside of our world, in the anfus, which is self, and afaq, which is outside of the world. When one comes to the age of discernment, some sha'ur, some intellectual ability, where one becomes able to see and make some decision, some inferences by looking at whatever is happening around them, rather than objectively looking at that and not understanding. So that's a very basic level. But when you come to the age where you can abstractly think and cross-check things, try to figure out, infer certain passages that you see, the things that you see in your life, read some stuff and understand that, look at the signs here and then put two together to come up with something new. And that's when it is advised, rather it is an obligation, to start observing and coming up with the clear understanding of what is your creation purpose, why you are sent to this world. Look at how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is nurturing, created, and then finally moving it on to the next stage, the universe around us. There's so much to learn from, so many things to follow. And I've been thinking about that a lot of late, with the example of a tree that we all have observed and seen since young, and we've been benefiting from it a lot, except that we do not appreciate. Now, is it just to appreciate whatever is around us, whatever is surrounding us? If there was only that much, that's being, a sight worth seeing, a scenery to be observed, and then forget about it. That's not the idea. That's not the idea. The idea is, whenever you look at any of those, it should refer you back, point you back towards the Creator. It should give you something to take as a lesson and apply to your own life. I'm seeing this animal is doing this, the mountain like this, the brooks, whatever they are doing, and I glean some information, some ideas, some facts of life, the reality. And if I can't do that, I am actually not even a human being, let alone a Muslim. Muslim cannot live a life where he is completely oblivious to the surrounding. He doesn't look inside him, and even if he does, he doesn't take lessons out of it. Every incident that takes place in and around ourselves, we have to take some lessons from it. Either it is something that is beautiful, nice, good, appealing, so we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for that, appreciate the magnificence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, omnipotence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah ta'ala being overpowerful, Allah's knowledge, Allah's creativity. That would bring you close to and connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even more. Or there's something which is harmful, bad, a little bit scary, something which might trouble us. Then you seek refuge from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are things which are happening in order to give you an insight, some indication as to how to live your life. You see that and it's I got my answer. I should have done this. Unfortunately, we don't do that. And if we don't, there's warning against it. We are like animals. Allah says, لَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ بِهَا. They have heart, but they don't pay attention to that. لَهُمْ آذَانٌ لَا يَسْمَعُونَ بِهَا. They have hearing, they've got ears, but they don't hear, they don't pay attention. And they have eyes, they don't see. What's the point? It does not mean that we don't see. We see, but we do not take lessons from it. It does not mean that we do not hear. We do hear, but that is hearing of an animal. They're falling on deaf ears. It's going and coming from the other end without any substance to it, without any meaningful outcome of that. So we're not supposed to be like that. We must listen and we must internalize, reflect, and apply it to our lives. And this is how the life experiences. This is how the lifelong learning continues. And we carry on like this. So, look at this big tree, full of fruits, a lot of shady branches and leaves, very strong base. And from the beginning to the end, you would find that the minute they start doing this photosynthesis, taking carbon dioxide from the system and giving us back what? Oxygen, helping us through that. Then they continue to grow. They are very beautiful, appealing to our eyes. The green color is just amazing. When you look at that, a fresh green color, it appeals. That's why morning walks tend to be very beneficial, to soothe one's mind, to focus and reflect. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created many things in the nature in green color. And there are different shades of green. It appeals. And then as they grow, they started getting some shade provided for the people for free. You can lean on the trunk. You can enjoy, even if it's scorching sunlight, hot day, the breeze underneath the tree is just so beautiful. You sit under the tree, in hot weather, you find comfort. They provide you this shade without asking for anything in return. And most of these big trees, once they are big enough, they do not even require you to give them any food. They extract their food down from the earth. Water, they can do naturally. They don't depend on you. You use their branches, their trunks for your tables, for your chairs. And when they come to the age, they give you fruits. If they have flowers, even that is appealing to the eyesight. It helps other animals to get some nectar, enjoy it. All the creation around, they're using that as their fodder. The leaves are beneficial for them. They're housing the nests for the birds. They've got their burrows and holes for the squirrels, other animals, other birds, insects enjoying the snakes living here and there. Everyone would find a shelter under them for free. In return, they do not demand anything. Now when they come to the age where they can provide you with a lot of fruits, they do. And what do you do? Stone. The plant that is benefiting, and it continues to give you fruits. Then you increase the number of stoning, the more you do, the more fruits you get. You can shake it, you get the fruits. And we trim, whenever we trim, we get the fodder, we get whatever. You multiply that by putting and doing some grafting. And does it ever come back to you to say, by the way, you have been doing all that crimes against me without asking, without giving me anything, and now you've come back again the second time? It doesn't tell you off. it doesn't show the anger. That is the story of a believer, whose life from the beginning to the end is only beneficial to others. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Khairun nasi anfa'uhum lin-nas." The best of the people are the people who are more beneficial to others. You are benefiting others in whatever different ways you can. You try your best. We have become completely opposite. Where are we? Where what do? We are just the extractor, not the giver. We are the one who wants. This is what we do all the time. Both of my hands are open to get something. My mouth is open to receive something. My eyes, if I could suck something into my eyes, nose, ears, all the holes, I can just grab something from somewhere. And that doesn't satisfy me either. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the upper hand is better than the lower hand. Al-yadul ulya khayrun min al-yadis sufla. The upper hand is the one that gives. The lower hand is the one that takes. We are happy to ask. We are never happy to give. And it's not just the monetary giving, it's even helping someone, supporting someone in the time of their need. All our problems in the family, between husband and wife, siblings, why do we stop seeing them? Finances. He has misappropriated my wealth. The inheritance, he didn't give me the due share. He was with me in this business and he caused trouble. I'm not saying that they should do it, and even if it's justified or not justified, like your charge against them is justified, means yes, they have done that. Even then, is that the life all about? Are we just here about few grands here and there to sever the ties of relationship? Are we here only for that reason, never to see that individual ever again? And start talking against him, backbite him, or do whatever. There's a brother I was speaking to just this week, a few days ago, and he was treated so badly, financially, more so, and verbally as well, by the family members, that he is hard-trodden. And it's been. Then I asked, how many years ago? Because I know that you mentioned something a few years ago. I thought it would all be sorted. You know what he said? He said, 4 years ago. And he started crying about the same problem. I said, how come you're still thinking the same problem is all gone and done and dusted? He said, yes, I can't. I always think about that. How they've ruined my life. I said, even if they've done it, you are still surviving, you've got food, you've got everything else, look at the people around you. Is that what you should be focusing on all your life? I couldn't make him understand that. But we had to have a bit of a discussion. Finally he said, I would think about that. I said, you know what, you're ruining your dunya and your akhirah both. I'm not asking you to forgive him, but ignore him. Ignore that individual and move on. You're stuck in the time. You've wasted your 4 years of your life. What have you done in that? Keep thinking about that, how I somehow take my revenge, keep boiling and getting angry, getting depression on medicine. Who's helped? Who's going to be helped here? Are you going to be helped by this attitude? It's only affecting you negatively, man. Come on, wake up. Qaddar Allah. Go and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for help if need be. But don't ruin your life. Keep thinking, if that wouldn't happen, I would have been a millionaire. Keep multiplying that. Keep using that Excel sheet. Applying the same formula. Keep multiplying. See, interest, this, all of that. See, if he didn't do it, I would have been a millionaire. At the moment, I'm on dole money. You could have worked for 4 years, had you not been crazy thinking about that, and would have accumulated something, maybe started a new life. No. Husband and wife, why the trouble? Why we are arguing and debating and leaving and divorcing and counseling and this and that? All to do with that. She doesn't do that and he doesn't do that. Everyone is looking at someone else just to take my right, my thing, mine, me. I just want it. Islam is not about this. Islam is about you submitting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, doing your job. You shouldn't be bothered about, ideally, the person, what he should be doing to you. Whatever he is doing, he will be accountable. People are writing his deeds, by the way. He would get his outcome as well as you would do. Him being in trouble by causing you trouble is not going to get you out of the trouble if you had your own troubles. Does it make sense? You flung the exam badly. He did the same because he misappropriated your money or he caused you trouble. Then what? He'll be there in hellfire for that, maybe. God forbid. So would you come out of hellfire because he has done all the wrong to you? Yes, maybe, because you get some reward out of it. But would that be enough to secure your Jannah? Because you haven't done all your obligations. You've been doing all the haram in your life. You maybe get 1,000 good deed, maybe 10,000 good deed on the Day of Judgment, but you needed 50,000. What would happen? Even if you needed to go for, okay, by 10,000 you come from this level Z to level X, 2 levels up in the hellfire, less punishment. It's still punishment, man. You can't even be there for a second, let alone being satisfied with whatever time you would spend there. And that would only happen with the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I would put it to you, forgiving that individual, so you got 10,000 good reward or good deed from him because he did whatever wrong he did to you. If you've forgiven him and hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I did it only to please you, give me good reward for that. You know what that good reward could be? 100,000. That will save you from going to hellfire. Rather than filling yourself and killing yourself with that grudge against the person and keep thinking, whatever. And in my life, I'm just keep boiling about this and keep talking against it, keep backbiting and exaggerating, and sometimes even getting the people around who are so silly, similarly, because they are in the same boat, same shoes. They would say the same thing. They continue to, yeah, you're very bad. Carry on. You're right. They've wronged you. And all of a sudden, initially, he felt that they wronged, and we don't even know the fact. But you, people around, keep making it, yes. See, it becomes a belief. It's a dogma now. You can't, see, everyone knows it. No, but by the way, none of them knew it. You told them, they referred back to you, and you referred back to him, you trusting him, and they trusting you. They all become, that has become mutually agreed upon fact that this is exactly what happened. So if that exactly what happened, as you were saying, then yes, you get some reward. And that might not be enough. But when you go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it turned out to be, by the way, all your life, you thought that was the case, Allah said, no, actually, let me get it right, man. Come on. Because he would have his witnesses. He would have his documentation. All the case would be presented before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No emotion, nothing. What you think doesn't count. How Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would judge it. So if Allah really judged in your favor, okay. If he did against you, then what? What have you done? What have you? You actually cause yourself to be in hellfire. Because now he would say, Ya Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not that just I never wronged him. He felt that. He believed that. He was disillusioned by that. And he backbitten me 1,000 times in the last 10, 4, 15 years. And he actually tarnished my name in the society, in the community, telling everyone about it. And my family actually started shunning me for that reason. And I was seen as a bad guy. And this is what happened. So just with one understanding, with the wrong idea, with wrong emotions, without any true guidance from a right person, you cause yourself a big damage. Between husband and wife, this is the day-to-day story. You think that you are upon the truth, and haqq, my right, and she thinks she is upon the truth. And the fact is, they both are just being fooled. I do counseling for 20 years. I know it. So alhamdulillah, I deal with you a lot. And unfortunately, you're just so dumb that I would trust a 5-year-old who could judge better in these matters than you, because you're crazily emotionalized about it. And that doesn't help anyone. And we are so self-centered that we're not interested in listening to the other side of the story, objectively. So the first question I ask in any relationship is, So they come, they're both like, ready to tell their stories. Okay, you tell me first 3 good things about your wife. He said, good thing? There's no good thing. Okay, fine. You 3 good things about your husband. No good thing, can't be. Maybe 1. Okay, think about that. And then I would just elaborate and keep asking, okay, we've been together for 15 years, so there was no good time? Any children, any honeymoon, any food, any outgoing there and there? And all of a sudden things start, does he not cook food, get the clothing, this, none of that is good, is it? All bad, is it? She goes to 20 different men, and you go out and do alcohol and whatever. No, we all practicing, mashallah, she prays. So that's good about her, isn't it? That's good about him. And then, okay then, come on, 3, another 15 minutes. Think about this and write it down. Game changes from there, because shaitan would make you so crazy about your own right that you would never see the point from the other side. Because our idea is that I just want to take, like hungry animal of some sort. Need to wake up. Look around how world is going, how creation around us has been on the giving end and sacrificing. As we discussed the tree, how it would do that. Despite all the wrong that we do to the tree, we use it for our benefit. You never get any telling off back from them. We'll continue to help you, even with their life. So we should be grateful that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us enough, and mend our affairs with our families, with our friends and everyone, inshallah ta'ala, in the wider society, in order to be able to justify our existence as Muslim in this world, and say, Ya Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you gave us this opportunity, I thank you for that. With all my shortcomings, I am quite keen that I forgive all of them in order to please you. You give me the reward. I would rather take reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than from that individual, because that is just my revenge from him, getting him into bigger trouble. He's already in trouble, but even if he gets in trouble through me, I'm not going to get any benefit out of that if that's not enough, if I haven't done enough on my own accord. You understand that? You can't get through the exams if you haven't written anything in the paper. Your paper is empty, but he is cheating. Yes, teacher would say, very good, mashallah, here's £5 for you, but you flunked the exam as well, by the way. He flunked because he cheated, but you flunked because you didn't do anything. You understand? And this is not talking about any exam here and there. It's our lifetime exam, and that would end up giving us either the ultimate bliss forever in Jannah, or punishment deep down in hellfire, even for a momentary period, should we die as a Muslim. And with that ongoing sin and arrogance, if we lose our faith, and it's a quite high possibility, with each sin that we commit, we get a stain on the heart. Slowly and slowly, it continues to erode our heart, encase it in such a way that it becomes a seal about the truth. Truth doesn't penetrate through it, doesn't permeate into it, and we leave faith on the deathbed. Many people leave faith on the deathbed, because that's the final attempt of shaitan to misguide individual. And if you haven't got much to cling on to with regards to your connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with your dhikr, with your tasbihat, with your Quranic recitation, staying away from haram, you have nothing to hold on to. At that time, shaitan would say, submit to me and I will help you in this tough situation. And people would do that. There's a lot of worry about that. So live a life of a pious person, refraining from all the sins, only to be concerned about your akhirah, helping others for that, rather than causing trouble to others. Then inshallah ta'ala you would see how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would benefit you in this examination hall, but actually in the life hereafter. That's our goal. May Allah give us tawfiq. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين.